of messed up, and I learned a big lesson over the past few weeks, and I feel like it's one worth sharing, which we're gonna do today as we are on our way from Italy to France for
the boat show.
The boat show.
La Grande Mole.
It's kind of a last minute decision, but here we are. Last Italian gas station.
Yeah. This one says south, but it's facing the wrong way. How's that supposed to work?
That was fast.
Yeah. Just a little bit of fuel.
Yeah. How do you feel about the Italiana gas stations?
They're good. They got the self-serve and the full-serve. And if you go to the full-serve, it's a lot more expensive.
By like how much?
I'm not sure. I don't know. It's more expensive. That's all you need to know.
You said a lot more expensive. I wasn't expecting that so soon.
France.
Yeah, it's narrow.
Yeah, late.
Pucker up.
Yeah, man. Like, oh, go through the tunnel and then go through something even more narrow.
Look at that.
We got the high tunnel.
We've seen a lot of tunnels.
I think when they were building this tollway, they bought the tunnel machine and decided they would just make tunnels everywhere, because I think we've literally gone through 1,000 tunnels.
That might be that'd be a slight exaggeration.
Okay, maybe 100. Probably 100 tunnels from Florence to the border of France.
Somebody fact check that.
I think it's probably pretty accurate. And that counts as 2 tunnels. It's a gap. That's 2 tunnels. That's why we hit 100 tunnels.
Uh-huh.
Oh, down the road. Down the road.
Here goes another one.
Hey, I love talking on the phone. But hey, just can't wait to have you home. Oh, I'm alright.
In 200 meters, turn left onto Boulevard de Lorient.
We just hopped off the highway to go to Nice to grab a quick bite, and that's where we will fill you in on what Nikki started this video with.
I just literally looked for something that was not too far off route, so this could be good or this could be really bad.
In 200 meters at the roundabout, take
Bar
the
restaurant,
third exit
that was
onto
one of
Quai de
them.
la Banquière.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Okay, we'll see. Like a pro.
All good?
All good. You're in there perfect.
I'm gonna love you till the end of time, because a love like ours is hard to find.
Okay, well, we thought we were going to go for a little walk after lunch and be able to chat and all things, but we can't really figure out the parking, and we don't want to get a ticket since, well, it's a loaner van, so figure we better mosey on. We'll get back on the road, which is okay because we're sort of in a bit of a rush. We're in a bit of a rush, mostly just because the show has already started. We just dropped my aunt and uncle off at the airport this morning and immediately hit the road to try and make the show this weekend. We want to have at least a couple of days at the show, so we should have a good full 2 days at least, I think. Yeah, that's why we're kind of in a rush. But I will say the drive has been spectacular, going from Italy, where it's been medieval castles and walls. It's so different, all the stone. And then as we come into France, it is noticeably, visibly different almost immediately, which I did not expect. I kind of thought it would be a bit more transitional, but the styles are just different. And there's more colored buildings, different colored buildings, as to where, you know, in Italy everything seemed a bit more of like that Tuscan vibe. At least that's where we came from. So, I mean, it's colorful there too, but in a very different way. I don't know. I really enjoyed the drive. I think it's been really beautiful. If only the thing was in the way. You can see snow on the mountains back there. And a tunnel. Can you think a drive?
I feel like this video is kind of like my mind right now. It's really scrambled. And we had a plan and it just didn't work out. Now
Just
we're
pretty
driving.
much the theme of everything.
I'm just like, oh my god, this is just...
In 400 meters, keep left at the fork.
I was thinking you could tell us why we're headed to the boat show. Why the last minute decision?
Okay. I need to pay a toll here. Hold on. Oh, shit.
No cash. Oh, gates up.
I don't know how much it cost. It doesn't give you a receipt. You just touch your credit card to it and
Keep left at the fork.
the gate opens. Okay, so we are on our way to La Grande Motte because we just found out like 2 weeks ago, that HH was going to have the HH50 OC version. And the OC version is the same model that we have, the ocean cruising version. It's not like the full carbon fiber mast and all that kind of stuff. And there's only a few HHs in the world.
In 50 meters at the roundabout, take
And
the second
even
exit
less.
onto Boulevard du Mercantour, route de Grenoble.
OC versions. So we thought this is a great opportunity to go up to the show. It's only like an 8.5 hour drive and see it with our own eyes. And it's a 50, and our boat's a 44, which is technically like the size of a... Jeez, this guy's in the Range Rover. You're causing problems, buddy. It's like he's from America. Sorry, no offense to my American friends. Okay, so yeah, that's kind of
Exit
why
the
we're
roundabout onto Boulevard du Mercantour.
going to the La Grande
In
Motte
600
multi-hull
meters
ship.
at Ronfoy des Baroques, take the second exit and stay on Boulevard du Mercantour, route de Grenoble, heading to Antibes.
And there will be a couple of other boats that we have not gotten to see yet.
It's the world premiere of the Outremer 52, apparently, which didn't exist when we decided to buy our boat. It's probably still too big for us, but it looked like the first one that they've added a lot more solar to, so it'll be really cool to see that. And then Marsden Components, I can't remember exactly, but anyway, there's a bunch of different boats. We're going to look at some of the features on those boats and share them with you, tell you not necessarily what we think about them. I don't know. Who knows? If one thing I've
Exit the
learned
roundabout onto
is
Boulevard
don't make
du
a plan.
Mercantour.
We're going to the show. That's all I know.
Continue on M6202 for 1.5 kilometers.
Yeah, Google's French is as good as mine. It's not a compliment. Yeah, so there's also a windallow at the show. In other words, there were just a lot of the multi-hulls that we have not gotten to set foot on, and we thought this would be the perfect opportunity. One primary thing being the 50 OC. We really wanted to step aboard that one because it's going to be the closest thing to our boat. And it's so silly because like we're headed to the factory in only a couple of weeks, like three weeks, whatever it is. Anyway, so we'll be there soon enough, but it's still not finished, you know? So this is, I don't know, just itching for anything, right? Just scrambling for any little anything.
Any opportunity.
Yes, it's ridiculous. And also just the idea of getting on all the other boats. We haven't been to a boat show in 4 years. 2019 February 2019. That was the last boat show that we have been to. So it's been a long time, and I think it will be fun to just kind of walk around, scope out the boats, see what's at the show, what other gadgets. I don't know. I know it's not a huge show, but the fact that it is a multi-hull show is what interests me the most. Plus, we were right here, and we originally weren't going to go because we were like, it's kind of tight. But as so goes it with the theme of everything with us these days, like, just say yes to everything. Pile on more and more. We just keep doing it. Oh, that's kind of what has gotten us in the mess that we're in now, which we'll talk about maybe shortly when we're not in a car. And because, look, my filming skills of self-filming, my selfie abilities are not real great. I'm very unsteady. I'm better with the tripod. Otherwise, I need Cayson filming because he's my cameraman. He's the pro. I just happen to be the person always standing next to him. What happened?
Yeah, we thought we were going to be there in an hour, but it just went up about 30 minutes. Big wreck. Welcome to traffic. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
Look at this cluster.
Stand still. Yikes, must have been bad.
In 800 meters at the roundabout, take the second exit.
So I have good news. It wasn't a really bad wreck, which is always nice to see. It's just the road is closed for construction. So it went from a toll booth with like 12 lanes down to 1 lane in a matter of, I don't know, 50 meters. So that's why it was so congested. Now we're going to be on a side road, and we should be there an hour and a half.
Which we said an hour and a half ago.
I'm just glad it wasn't a wreck.
I am also glad that it was not a wreck, but we have literally been saying we're going to be there in an hour and a half for at least an hour and a half. We thought we were we were supposed to arrive at 3:30 in the afternoon. It is, what time is it right now?
6:30.
6:30. And we only stopped for lunch, and that was exactly 1 hour because that's how long the free parking was for, and then we couldn't figure out how to pay for longer so that we could go for a walk. Thank goodness we didn't, or we would be getting there at like midnight. Oh my goodness. That's all right. So goes it on a road trip. It's been a lovely drive, and I can't complain.
Going is kind of a crapshoot. It's the only campground that I found, and there was no photos.
Turn right onto Highway Publier, then turn right.
It's gonna be a surprise. We're to the left, so you go straight. Oh man, we got so lucky because the reception closed at 7. It is 8 something now. And she just happened to still be there. Otherwise, we would not have gotten in, and we would have been sleeping in the parking lot. So, this is good, yeah.
Yeah.
What's that one? That says 201.
It's like the good old days. Driving around the campground. Following these funny little maps.
You're all good. You got loads of room. It's probably good. We've made it!
Hooray! What a day. Hopefully it's on the other side.
Hey.
Hey. That would have been bad. Show the plug. Must mean it's plugged in.
Okay. Great success. Our very first French campground.
You look like you're ready for a glass of wine.
I am. Although I don't know if I should have one. It's been such a long day. We made it though. I thought we were gonna get here. I envisioned taking you down to the beach and having a nice little conversation, but that's not happening today, and tomorrow's the boat show. So, I need to fill you in on what the heck I started all of this with, which is so long ago, it feels like for me. Okay, so I did kind of mess up because I mentioned I dropped my aunt and uncle off at the airport this morning, and so the family trip has officially ended as of today. But of course you're not seeing the family trip video today, and that will end up being next week. And that's just because we launched the first one, which was our trip into Florence and the medieval festival in San Casciano, and it just didn't really get distributed. And I knew that that was going to happen because we are in a lane that is kind of considered a sailing channel, and because we don't consider ourselves a sailing channel, we kind of think of ourselves as just travelers who happen to live in a boat. But that is not the way that the algorithm sees us. So it doesn't serve up a video to you if it doesn't think you're going to be interested in it. And when we do something that's all of a sudden drastically different, that's exactly what happened. So it is our worst performing video in like 3 years, perhaps. I don't know. Not because the video isn't good, just because we deviated too far from our lane, I think. It doesn't have anything to do with boating and nothing to do with, I don't know, to be quite honest.
You never know.
I never know.
Could be because of Easter. Could be because
of a million things.
And we
took a break the week before, and this is not a complaint about performance of a video. That's not what this is about. But it is, it does sort of matter. If we're going to spend time and effort to make a video, we want to make sure that it actually gets seen. And I could have chosen the bad thumbnail and title. Maybe it just wasn't interesting. So who the heck knows? But there was kind of that on top of, we even felt like we were rushing to get that video out and done. So because we had this whole family trip and I really desperately wanted to film it because it was a big freaking thing. My aunt and uncle are in their mid 70s, and this was kind of a huge bucket list trip for them and for us, and we made all these plans, and then my uncle got sick on like day 2 of being here. So he started kind of getting sick the day of the medieval festival, and it just went downhill sharply from there. So that really changed everything. Not really. We still did a lot, and he'll be devastated now that I'm even talking about this, because he didn't want to disrupt anybody else's time or anything like that. It really wasn't about that, but did change kind of what we were going to do, and we couldn't bring him along, and that was a really big bummer. So he missed out on so much, and we tried to continue to do as much as possible without him, but it just didn't feel the same because the trip was all about the two of them. But that's the way the cookie crumbles, right? Like, we've all gotten Montezuma's revenge at some point in time, or you just get a cold on a plane. Like, it just happens, and it just is crappy timing, and then it ruins your vacation. And while it didn't completely ruin everybody's vacation, it did change things. So we didn't get the road trip that we wanted, and we didn't get to take the vans as extended of trips as we wanted to. They became day trips because we had a sick passenger that we needed to be mindful of, and we didn't want to wear him out extra on top of being sick by moving him around too much. So there was that. And then there was the fact that I tried to take on way too much, which means I took it on, which means I put us both in that situation. Sorry, love. Of where I said, not only are we organizing this trip and where there are details to be handled, picking people up from airports and taking them back in, all of that, and getting the vans and arranging tours and this, that, and the other. So we became tour guides, and we wanted to film it, and I wanted to still keep up with our weekly schedule. Because in my head, I thought we could do all of this. And in the end, we couldn't. And so we already took 1 week off, and then we rushed, and we were up working late trying to get last Sunday's video out. And then this week started encroaching, and it was my last few days with my aunt and uncle, and my uncle was finally feeling better. And I just thought, that's it. Like, we're not working anymore right now. We are going to spend this time with him, and then we're going to go out, and we're not going to film it because it's just too much. And I should have just said, we're going to take a 3-week break. I still can film it because I wanted to capture that, and I wanted to share the whole experience, but it was just too much. So I overtaxed myself, and I felt the need to talk about it because I thought, all right, so first of all, I tried to take on way too much. Just, it's sort of my eyes are bigger than my stomach sort of situation. And I should have known better, that I should have just said, we're taking 3 weeks off. I could have just said that, and you guys would have been very supportive of that, because you always are, minus a few grumpy people, but that's all right. They're always going to be there. So I should have just taken the break, enjoyed the time, captured the moments, and worried about, editing later. And it would have been less stressful. So then I was less present on my family trip because I was trying to juggle too many things all at one time. And we still had an amazing time, and I'm so excited to share. We're going to do one big episode that will kind of encompass everything we did, because there were cooking classes and amazing bike wine tours and so many beautiful cities, and we're going to smash it all together and give you the best of what we had. But that's going to start next week because just after everything, we decided we were going to kind of do something a little bit different this week. We originally thought, okay, we'll take one last little hoorah in the van and maybe go into nature. And then, of course, we learned about the boats that were going to be at the boat show. We thought, nope, forget it. U-turn, we're going a different direction. So here we are. And
the big takeaway is
as a creator, but anybody can relate with that. Relate to the just taking on too many things, saying yes to too many things, wanting to do too much at one time. I bit off more than I could chew, and then by me doing that, I forced us both into that, and it took away from everything because I did that. And as a creator, I know it's okay to take a break. It doesn't always felt that way, and you're still always hesitant, but I know better. And I didn't listen to myself on that. And I thought I can do it all, and I couldn't. And so then I messed up on multiple levels, and then it creates like a weird posting schedule. And then I end up making a video like I am today, where I have to sit down and feel like I need to have just an honest conversation and tell you, this is what I did, this is where I am. And just for other creators, like, take the break, enjoy your family time or your vacation or whatever it is you're doing. Just, it's all right to take a break. And I just thought I could do it all, and I can't. So you're going to get family trip next week, and then you'll see the boat show stuff after that, because this weekend we're going to be busy filming that. That's my diatribe.
We love you.
I know.
It's okay.
It is okay. It is okay. It is okay. But I did push too hard. And then mostly, no. Sorry, still emotional from the goodbye from earlier today with my aunt and uncle. It's just been a long time since I've seen them, and it was really lovely to see them, and goodbyes are always hard. It's not goodbye. I'll see them again. But it was just, it was a really lovely time, and I enjoyed spending time with them. And then I say goodbye, and I know it's going to be a nice little stint again, because there's just so much going on and many exciting things, but it does take me away from family, and those are the sacrifices that you make to live this lifestyle and do what we do, which is you see family less. You're an ocean away or countries away, and you can't take a flight every month. And so it just ends up being 2 years, 3 years, 4 years before your next encounter. And it's just a really long time to be away from family. And that's not a complaint. It's something we know we're all in for, but it does take its toll. And we said to ourselves right before the pandemic, our last trip home in 2019, we were like, that's it. We're not going to let it be 3 years again. But that one was out of our control, right? Pandemic. So everybody's got their story on that one. So it was just a long time, and it was 3 weeks together that were glorious. Not what we expected, but still glorious. And so then emotional, everything, everywhere. And again, trying to work too much on top of that when I should have just taken the break and not given myself the extra stress. So, yeah, there we go. That's that.
Okay.
Sorry for that. I didn't expect that. Anyway, I'm excited about going to the boat show tomorrow. I'm excited about sifting through all the memories and sharing all of that with you next Sunday. And I guess, yeah, we lost the light. And it's it's like they're flashing lights. You're at the awards event, and they start playing the music. They're like, get off the stage. It's time to go. Okay, that's my cue. I will take it. Anyway, sorry for the chaotic video and everything. I just wanted to tell you all of that, and I don't. Whatever. There it is.
There it is.
It's out there. Anything from you?
Not sponsored.
No. But I do like this vest.
And hey, if you haven't watched our Florence video, click right here and give it a watch. Or watch it 5 times.
Because it was a good one.
We enjoyed it very much. Anyway, love you guys.